So I became a certified ethical hacker. I was doing a consulting for a school system. I took my cybersecurity skills and my entrepreneurship skills, and I created what I call the cyber business team for students. And COVID hit in the middle of the contract. They're like, we have to buy tablets for all these students. We're not going to pay you. So pencils down. Oh, so what the heck do I do? I got bills to pay.
Welcome to Resilient Talks Podcast, where real stories of bounce backs, breakthroughs, and bold comebacks. Hosted by your retired veteran, speaker, and transformation coach, Nat Martin. This is the place where you reset your mindset, reclaim your voice, and rise with purpose. Resiliency is your superpower. Let's activate it. This is Resilient Talks with your girl, Nat Martin, and I got another guest with y'all today, and we are about to dive into some things that I think you guys have been waiting to hear. Go ahead and tell them what your name is and what you do.
So I am Carl Gray III. I am a business solutions architect. I help people to start, launch, and grow their businesses using the methods that I've learned in my 30 years of consulting and study. And I've worked with some of the largest companies and governments in the world.
Okay. 30 years of consulting. Wow.
I started when I was 10.
Wait. We're going to take it back. He said he started when he was 10.
That's when I started studying. Yes.
Okay.
My pastor started hooking me up with different things, taking me to conferences and things of that nature. She put me around the big boys at a young age.
Okay. 10 consultant. I was trying to math. Was it math?
Right. No, but just being in the room and learning those things. Yeah.
Okay. So this podcast showcases people's resiliency stories. Mm-hmm. And now that you done told me that you've been in the room since you were 10, I am definitely interested in hearing from your pastor exposing you to environments that help you go ahead and see a different perspective, especially at a young age. How did you get from 10 to learning consulting to now the 30 years of the experience to doing the consulting?
So, now you about to give me what happened to cry? But,
you about to cry. It's okay. You can volunteer. We let it flow.
Cry. And then, hey, it ain't happening. But no, but real talk. So I grew up in not one of the greatest environments, Landover, Maryland, born in Northwest, DC, but moved to Landover, Maryland. But there's a lot of things going on in that area. When I was young, my dad was in and out of jail most of my life. Love him, but, just had problems he was dealing with. And essentially my mom, worked for the church. And so my pastor, she's my godmother, and she's took an interest in me, just kind of seeing the potential that I had. And so the first thing she did was bought me my very first computer. Okay. And so I broke it. She got me not by dropping it, but just trying stuff out. Okay. And so, got another one and did that. And then, after a while, she started taking me to business conferences with her. Okay. And it was like, these big institutes where I'm way too young to be in the room, but she's saying he can do it. And so she put me on different stages, speaking with people I never thought I would speak with. Wow. And so even once I got to college, and I got into political science. Political science was my major, and I was running political campaigns in Prince George's County. I was community outreach director. After that, I got into cybersecurity, because politics got too dirty, and so I became a hacker. Does that make any sense? Hacker. Okay, yeah, let's go. So I became a certified ethical hacker. I was working at the largest minority CPA firm in the country, and actually, one of my mentors, CJ Sampson, he actually helped me. He allowed me to go and take the training, and so I built with him the cybersecurity arm of that company. And so when I left the company to start my own, they never replaced me. And so to this day, I still do their IT work, their IT security work. So right now I'm doing a penetration test at one of the largest airports in the country. Like, even as we speak, that's what I'm doing. So being able to go into rooms and just learning so much about business. Now, as I said, it was the largest minority company, so big but still small. So I had the ability to do everything as a part of the business. So responding to RFP, proposals, doing presentations, sitting at the room, having to present to these high-level officials. Even having to jump around and do things outside of my peer view. So at one point, I was doing the audit mitigation for Detroit Public Schools, and then writing a strategic plan for the United States Treasury Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. So all of these things I was able to do. And during that entire time, which leading to what I do now, I learned about our businesses, Black businesses. There's so many things that we don't do that big boys do. I'm not gonna say I'm not even put a color on it, but it's a side thing. Where they say, how they get software, how they hire people, how they streamline their processes and deal with things, even their mindset when it comes to business that we just didn't know and don't know. And so one of my goals is to use that to help to build our businesses in our community.
Okay. Now, 30 years of being in that field of just learning and helping others, what's one resiliency story in that entire tenure that stands out to you where you're like, I had to dig deep and use my resiliency to persevere through?
That happens every year. Not me, really.
So, like one that may stand out that's like, you know what, I really had to dig, really did.
COVID did it. I was doing a consulting for a school system and helping them to redo their procurement processes. And COVID hit in the middle of the contract. I'm only going to do this is bring the good money. I'm not going to really focus on anything else. It's a long-term contract. Nothing's long-term when the pandemic hits, right?
Thing got cut.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
So
wait a minute.
they're like, we have to buy tablets for all these students. We're not going to pay you. So pencils down. Oh, so what the heck do? I got bills to pay.
Right.
So like, can I get to the yams? But what I did was I said, okay, so what do I know? What can I do? What can I show people? And who can I show? And so I took my cybersecurity skills and my entrepreneurship skills, and I created what I call the cyber business camp.
Okay.
For students. And so, because I wasn't gonna go and get a bunch of loans or the stimulus thing. It was like that's just not me. Right. I'm like, what is it? Where's the opportunity in this? And so I was like, just let me make enough to, get the bills paid. Right. First week I made $20,000 in selling it, and then it kept expanding. Then adults wanted to take it. And then I made it into a bigger program to the point where, my last contract with it was $100K for 2 weeks. And so the resiliency, it wasn't even just a bounce back. It was a propel forward.
Okay.
And, and when you talk about the word being resilient, to me, it's not just about the getting through the adversity. It's using the adversity to propel you.
Yes.
And so I think that's one of the reasons why I don't hide from that. I don't run from setbacks.
Okay.
He was like, "Carl, you never get nervous about stuff." I'm like, don't. I'm like, because I know I can make it through this.
Right. But see, I'm glad you said that because a lot of times people, what we're doing with Resilient Talks is trying to help people identify what that really means. And when you just said that, it was like, when people say, oh, it don't look like you get nervous. Resiliency is not survival.
Right.
So that's separate. And even if you are resilient, still fear is an emotion. Mm-hmm. So you can still feel emotions, but you can be fearful and be resilient. Yeah. So it's a difference of feeling the emotion. And a lot of times when life, again, my saying is when life is lifing, people get afraid, doubt, worry, fear, all of that comes in place. And now they're not thinking about what resources, well, I always say get into the grit. They're not thinking of how to pull it out because they're crashing and burning.
Yeah.
They're shutting down at fast rate. Mm-hmm. So you were like, what? I'm not playing them games. Like, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. So how were you able to utilize your resiliency in those situations, especially after COVID and the touchy contract?
I think, and I give so much honor to my pastor for the things she taught me growing up. Is she never gave me an excuse for anything.
Oh, excuse me.
And that's one of my favorite books by Brian Tracy, No Excuses. Uh-huh. And if I messed up, she never brought up the fact of, well, your dad was in and out of jail and your mom didn't graduate high school. She never brought that up to give me any excuse. It was like, you messed up. You need to fix this.
Right.
I'm here to help you fix it. But so my mindset never went to what was the causation outside of myself.
Right.
And so, which means, so if something happened and it really wasn't my fault, if I know it wasn't my fault at all, that means there's no reason why I can't do it. I think one of the differences between a lot of people is when it's something outside of themselves causes something, it causes them to become victim. But I think if they actually recognize that if it really had nothing to do with them, then that means they have all the power to get through it.
Helen, first of all, it's the narrative that you tell yourself.
Right.
So I tell people, like we got dream big in the background. First of all, it's the narrative. What are you believing? Because in believe is lie. And so sometimes it's the lies that we tell ourselves creates the narrative of your story and they never get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stay in victim mode and then are like I see all the time, I'm not resilient. I'm like, yes, you are. And that's why we're here to say, listen, we showcasing people that look just like man, woman, whatever. Resiliency is something that everyone has and has to endure. Now, how well you do it, that's one thing or another.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you're going to have to be resilient. You may not bounce back. It may take you some time, but how long did it take you after COVID? Because some people still ain't bounce back from COVID.
I know.
How long did it take you for your bounce back?
October 2020. I didn't wait.
I was like, wait, when did it start? Because the official start date, we still got questions on that.
It was like Marchish.
Yeah, I was like,
We'll call it that.
Look, you saw I was trying to process the math. Like, wait,
yeah.
October.
So by October, moved from where we were and got 3 acres of land and a nice house, big old in-ground pool, 1,400 square foot, concert hut in the backyard, no excuses. Got in right under those low interest rates. But that's because because as you were speaking, I think once you grab that resilience that's in you, that's in each and every one of us,
right,
and you start moving in it, nothing else really matters. It's like, no, this is the road that I'm on. Because what happens is situations put people on a road and they go down that road. I'm like, we decide not to go down those roads. It's like I'm sitting here and I'm saying, because I'm resilient, because I know I need to bounce through and bounce back and get through this, now I'm on a different trajectory than everybody else.
Right.
I didn't participate in the recession. I did not participate in the pandemic. I didn't participate in the shutdown.
But you chose to, so you made a decision.
And that's what it's always about.
Right.
It's about a decision. Because in every situation, there are people who win. We got to choose to be those winners.
Right.
Instead of following the narrative that is in us and also outside of us.
Right.
Because it makes money. The worse people are off, there are people who make more money than worse people do. The news, the media, some of these, I sit there and I watched grocery stores make a rack of bread while corner stores die. I mean, legitimately. And they couldn't stay open. It was like, you're not big enough to stay open during this pandemic. You don't have enough square footage to open your doors.
Right. There's still people that's bouncing back from it from now, where even how we order food.
Mm-hmm.
There are some places they never went back to in-person dining.
Right.
Literally, I got to call in and take it out. And so it's like you were able to bounce back quick than everybody else in that pandemic period. Because I'm like, wait, you threw me off the 2020. I was like, wait, it happened in
2020.
You had me scratching my head.
Yeah.
What would be one tip that you can tell somebody, a resiliency tip that you can give to the next person that may be struggling and they're like, I just don't know what to do? What would be a resiliency tip that you can give?
Forgive yourself for any past failures. Forgive yourself for every time you did not take advantage of something that you could. Every if'a, coulda, woulda, shoulda that you have, forgive yourself from it. Get over the possibility of a better past. And once you get over that possibility for a better past, that's when you'll be able to move forward and create the future that you desire. That every situation you get in, you'll say, hey, I didn't do that. I wish I would have done X, Y, and Z 5 years ago. But this time, when I get that setback, I'm going to do it. Oh man, yes, this hurts, but I'm pushing through. I'm going to focus on not what's around me, but where I'm going. So once you forgive yourself of the possibility of a better past, that's when your resilience will be able to kick in and you'll be able to walk in it and you'll propel yourself forward. We're not just talking about bouncing back. We're talking about propelling forward.
Yes. So listen, guys, tell them where they can tap in with you and how they can find you.
So yes, you can reach me at launchwithcarl.com. Again, if you want to get into business, Friends with Businesses Pod on Instagram. I'm here to help you to fulfill your dreams.
All right. So that was another episode on Resilient Talks with Nat Martin. So y'all stay tuned and stay subscribed.